Which perhaps if I well, we'll start. First of all, I think the answer is you tell me what's your interest in signalling at the moment. Why have you decided you want to have an experience day today?
Just to learn more about what the levers and stuff they actually do.
Yeah.
I know the register signals and the register points and the register figures. I don't know what the brown was.
Well, it's basically the brown is where you've got a coacting. Thing, which I'll explain anyway. What sort of job do you do?
I'm actually a cleaner.
Yeah.
Well, 4 jobs of cleaning.
Right.
So.
Is that anything to do with the railways? Or?
No. Well, only a Tuesday only, which is I'm a carriage cleaner.
Right. Okay. All right then. Well, basically, what I'll do today is sort of explain all the others.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I tell you stuff that you already know.
That's all right.
But and then I'll give you the opportunity to have a go at the levers and the tokens and so forth. Now and also during the day, if you want, you're entirely at liberty to either stay here or go on a train. If you want to have a cab ride during the day, then just tip me the wink and we'll arrange it for you. Now, there's only one rule, and that is that you do not touch anything unless I specifically told you to do that, all right? And that includes answering the phone, or if somebody comes to the door and says, "Oh, I'm going on track," don't just say yes. So say nothing. Well, not say nothing, but just explain who you are. And the reason for that is that obviously safety.
Yeah.
All right. So now, what we're doing here is that at 10:10, so we're already running that. Oh, here we go. Right. I will forgive me while I do this, and I will explain it in a minute. Okay, right, now you then pull the blue lever again, which would allow you to lock the facing point lock. Right, so bear with me again. Good.
Right, Skip, I'm going to do your prayer. You will, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Technically, I'm the car that Travis will trade in, so Dave Trevor needs to see it as well.
Trevor, focus.
Thank you, Martin. My colleague.
Can I come in a few minutes?
Checking the coil on that engine. It was very low in the sidings, but I was leaning over, so it might be fine, but. Let me know if it's fine.
North Weald Signal Box. Apple. I don't know. I have not had the opportunity to speak to John Appleton yet to find that out. but I will speak to him, no doubt he'll speak to you. He's not anywhere around. Yeah, well, ask him to tell me as well, because I wouldn't know. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Cheers. I'll explain all of this to you. Colin's got to check the oil first.
Alright,
You know,
okay.
we've talked about the oil level.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Right. So there are quiet moments, but feel free to sit down if you want.
Last weekend.
There's tea and coffee. If you want to make yourself tea or coffee, that's fine. I've just got to speak to the person in charge, the duty operations manager. Hello there. Mr. Appleton. Right, we've got the vac set in platform 1, you've got the DMU in platform 2. Timetable says it should be the other way around. Do you want to carry on like that, or do you want it to go back? Swap them over. Alright, no problem. Yeah. Yes. No problem. Cheers. Bye.
Marty?
Yeah.
Right, just heard Colin say yours really low, so he's going to have to top it up.
Yeah, okay. No doubt you'll be telling John Appleton, because he's one.
Yeah,
he's the
I'll
top.
tell him.
Yeah. All right. Now, hello. There are various systems, but the safest one was invented by the Victorians in the 1880s, which was tyres instrument. And the point about this is that when you do all the bell codes, you saw when I got from the other end 312, I replied 312, but on the last beat I held down the plunger. Now that electrically released his machine, and he was able to take out the token, one token like this. The moment he took it out, that locked this machine and the one above, so that neither I nor he can take out another token until the token that was taken out is replaced either in his machine or more likely here. So the moment it's replaced in there, he can send another train down if he wants, if I release the token. So that's the whole point of it, and the Victorians had all this sorted out in the 1880s. Well, the first of these machines was built in about 1887, I think this is a later one. It's about the early 1900s, about 1910, I think I was told, this one. But in Ongar, they've got two ones exactly the same. One was built in 1898, I think it was, and the other one in 1901. So, it's all very old and valuable equipment. Here we go. Right, so here comes what we're going to do is do the platform bell so that the platform staff know that it's coming. Now, the token itself, I'm afraid that one of the restrictions on visitors like you is that we can't let you go into a dangerous situation. One of the dangerous situations is handing over the tokens. If you do it on the fly, there is a risk that you can fly out of here. Otherwise, it's all, health and safety.
Yeah, it's all
So
health and
I'm
safety
sorry
stuff.
about that. I'm going to have to do it. But when a train's at rest, we'll see what we can do. In fact, what I might do is wait for this one to come to a stop, and then you can come down with me. We can just hand these tokens over. So basically what I'm going to do is collect the token for North Weald to Ongar section and hand over this token, North Weald to Epping. Alright, here comes the man in charge. Right, let's go down here. Okay, so that was put 21 back in the front. I'll tell you about bell codes shortly. So that's 2. Magic, so we've done that. Right, can you put 20 back at the front, please? And then what we need to do is to reverse number 14 lever. So against point, so hold it against the lock, wait till the indicator changes, and then millimetre back. Sorry, okay? Don't worry, you're looking worried.
Because I always have them at the point of this bit. What about here?
Up against the lock, yep, that's it. Okay, and then millimetre back, just a millimetre, and then straight back. There you go. You're going too far back. So, just a millimetre, that's it, then back. Well done, that's it. Right, now we can pull number 3, which again is a semaphore signal. Number 3, semaphore. So left hand at the top. No, yeah, sorry, no, you're right. Yeah, number 3.
There.
Yeah, that's it there. Okay. Right. We found that more difficult because your left hand wasn't pulling and it was a little bit too far down. Don't worry, that's that. Right, number 4, electrical one. Not so difficult. That's the section signal. Protects the single line section. Magic. Okay, so what do we do now? Yeah, we're taking this over. Right. Okay, so we're now taking this over. 2 rings for platform 2. Right, we're actually leaving on time. It's good stuff. Let me just fill that in. So you've got to check all the doors on a train going off, and then check it's got a tell then.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can put 3 back in the frame. It is a semaphore signal, so be careful it might snatch.
That.
Yep. And then put it back on 4 and leave it there.
And then after
Sorry?
and then wait till it goes past number 4 signal.
Well, it's, yeah, number 4 signal is what's known as a section signal, and it's denoted by the white band around it. And the significance of that is that it protects the single line section, and therefore you have to have taken out the token for that section. And it's known as a one pull lever, which means that the moment you put it back in the frame, you can't pull it again unless you get another release of a token. So that stops you from sending 2 trains into the same section. Because that's one of the essential things about single line sections. The cardinal rule is that you never send a train, or a second train, into a single line section. Except there are exceptions, but you've got to be very careful. It's usually authorising participation, all that sort of stuff. Okay,
So put number 4 signal back.
so it's gone past 4, so you can now put number 4 signal back. That's it, and then the duster will go over number 19, which is the next signal. Some signalmen don't like doing that, but I think the arguments are equal on both sides as to the possible disadvantage and advantage. I want somebody to wave to him. Trevor seems to be a hit. So your company has contracts for cleaning carriages, does it?
Yeah, it's at the East Lancashire Railway.
Right.
We go there every Tuesday.
Well, is that East Lancashire? That's Heritage, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Every Railway.
So they contract people to clean their carriages?
No, it's like, well,
Or are you a volunteer?
I'm a volunteer.
Ah, followed, right.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
with
a
you.
volunteer.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Remember.
Oh, right, excellent. Yeah.
But,
So that's what sparked your interest then?
yeah.
What sort of signalling do they have?
But, well, I think we'll go on 4 or 5 signal boxes.
Yes.
So we've got single line towards cabled, And then you got a signal line from Belmont Street all the way to Ramsbottom.
Right.
And then there's a signal line from Ramsbottom goes up to Wattenstone.
Oh, okay.
So it's like just one of them's got like it's like a little crossing and nearby too.
Good.
So it's I have been inside that in Berry's signal box. But it's like the diagram's like it's bigger than this.
Right.
Loads of
Do
levers.
you know how many levers there are?
There's quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's about 13 or what?
30. You could have got them to show you the box, really. Be a bit cheaper for you. Keeping an eye on my clock. That's a super accurate clock, so I'm told. I can't remember where I think it's an atomic clock or something. It's somewhere in, I'm not sure where it is. It's up north somewhere. There's one in Denmark. So. Here we go. Right, we've got to give a single bell now, if you will. That's a 2-minute warning for this training off. So it's that plunger there, just a single bell.
Signal bell.
I'll tell you when to let go. Press it. Right, let go. That warns the crew and the platform staff what's happening. Always forget to sit down. Times when there's loads happening, it's useful to be on your feet and you can get a better view of what's going on. No questions so far?
Right, it's quite good this. Yeah, I was at Big Cart Railway Centre yesterday. I went to, we had a signalling centre there as well. Yeah, two levers on the two. And then now the swinging panel one.
Right.
Which I actually had a go on.
Do you do any of these things over the internet? They've got signalling simulations on the internet, which are quite interesting, I find.
Yeah, SimSig, I like.
That's it, SimSig. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on that. Sometimes if I join, sometimes I just sit back and watch other people do it.
Right. Okay.
It's
Found King's Cross quite interesting, but to try to do it without training, the first quarter of an hour is great, and then you get yourself fouled up because you're trying to find lines to put things in.
yeah. I did
There we go. Minute late. Usually you can see the door is ajar because the handle is not level. If you look at all those handles, they're level. In the DMU you don't usually have a problem with the marker lights.
see that too, then?
No, it's not. I'm going to try and stop it.
There's no eyeball on nothing.
Okay, so now 19 can go back in the frame. Again, it's a semaphore, so there's a risk it will snatch.
So it's like left leg.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not so critical when you're putting it back in the frame because it naturally will pull back with the weight of the arm and the wire. But it's not the same as an electrical one, which will sort of stay where you've got it. So, okay, go on. Well done. And then put it over that handle. Right, so that's train out of section, and have a look at the bell codes there. That'll probably make more sense. Okay, so 18 can go back now. That's it. Right, now what I tend to do is to, it's going to take a bit of time, but set the road for what's coming back. Now we're back now to the normal timetable, so the VAC set is a lot longer than the DMU. So the VAC set will fit more easily into platform 1, and that's what the timetable says we've got to do. So the first thing to do is to set the road for the VAC set to come into platform 1. Now, the DMU is going to come back first, so that will come back into platform 2. So I think the first thing to do is to normalise number 9 points for the DMU to come back in. So let's do that. So you need to take the dust and put it on there. Now this is, it's fine holding it like that. This actually is an electrical point, but again, hold it up against the lock.
Not there.
Well, you'll feel the lock, so push it as far as you can. That's it, up against the lock. Right, now it's normal. A millimetre back and then straight in. Okay, you're going too far back. You're making it go whiz around all over the place. Just a millimetre. That's too far. That's about 6. So you need to put it up against the lock. Oh, it's all right, it's lifted. Right, so the lock is lifted. Okay, so for the DMU to come back in, we need to clear number 1. And, oh, well, actually, before we do that, I think put number 14 back in the frame. That's it, up against the lock, wait for it to go normal, and then a millimetre back and then straight in. Done. Okay, so now we can pull number 1 and number 2 to let the DMU back in.
Number 1.
Yep. Right, that's gone off on the indicator. Now number 2 won't go off on the indicator. I'll explain that in a minute, but pull number 2. That's it, duster back on 1. Okay, now we've got it's not actually approach control, but the idea is that you don't want things whizzing in at high speed straight into the platform. Now, this usually applies to where you're going into the loop. So where you're sending things into the loop, you'll find that the indicator for number 2 will remain at red. In this case, it's going on the main line, so there's not a problem. It's off. But when it stays at red, what it's doing is it's trying to slow the train down. So if we have the road set for the loop into platform 1 coming in, you don't want it charging in at mainline speed and suddenly hitting a set of points, which is not a good move. So what you want it to do is to slow down. So CN track circuit is actually divided into 2 track circuits, CN and CN1, and the idea is that the relays won't operate until it hits, I think it's CN1 this end. So it's going to be halfway down this supposed track circuit. Both track circuits are combined into one on this diagram, but it has to get close onto the next track circuit next to the signal before the signal will clear. And the idea of that is to effectively slow the thing down. And you got the same the other way as well, coming up to number 20. There is a bit of leeway built in, because these track circuits don't just stop as though it's like the diagram where the track circuits don't stop exactly at where the signal is. There is what's known as an overlap. So the track circuit continues beyond the signal for a short distance, and that short distance is an overlap, and the theory of it is that if the train does pass the signal at danger, it's still got space to stop. The distances are quite short on here because we're on short speed. We're on slower speeds. It's not doing 100 miles an hour. It's only doing maximum 25. But that's the idea of the overlap for the track circuits. So if a signal goes past a colour light signal, which is at danger, and manages to stop, we won't necessarily see that happen on this diagram. We will only see if it goes on to the next track circuit. But it's not to be recommended. I mean, effectively it rarely happens. But it's another safety mechanism. On the mainline railways, they're running a very intensive service, so the overlaps are designed really to, another safety feature to, if all else goes wrong, it gives you just an extra bit of safety. Okay.
There we go.
Right, so now if you can pull number 9 lever, which are the points. Again, you hold it up against the lock.
Right here.
That's it. Now you can.
Right there.
Yeah.
Oh, a bit too far out.
That's it.
There we go.
And now we can pull number 21 lever. So we've given the line clear. Right, so we'll wait until we've got train entering section, and then we'll do the rest of it. We've set the road for the train coming in from Ongar into platform 1. As I say, it's one of the vagaries of the system that if you want to pull off the main line signal, number 20, directing the train into the loop, you don't want it coming in at mainline speed and then sort of falling off the end. So you've got to be sure that you've not operated the track point. In other words, that you've actually set the road to go back onto the main line. So that's why we reverse number 9. you had a chance to look at the bell codes?
It's all very interesting.
Basically, you've got 10 classes of train, so that's the first part of it.
Yeah.
So a class 1 train, that describes what it is, those 4 bells. Most of the passenger trains we have here are class 2, so it's 3-1. Multiple units, 312. There has been some discussion about, some people say, well, the professional signals say that 312 is actually an EMU, electric multiple unit, but there's a special instruction, a signalling instruction, which applies to Epping Ongar Railway, where we've only got a DMU, we haven't got an EMU. So. And then you've got the empty coaching stock, locomotive hauled and then multiple unit, and then the freight trains. So it's fitted, partly fitted and fully fitted, and then a light loco. And then you've got the various other codes for train requiring stop and section, release token, token replace, train pass travelling towards you, not displaying a tail lamp. And we've got, it's not on here, we've got 8.2 and 2.8, which is relating to defective home signals. And all the ones in red are, it's not really panicking, but you've got, for example, obstruction danger, which is 6, train or vehicles running away. That's actually on the right line, but as they're single lines, we've just put it at 255. Answer telephone, locomotive assisting in rear of train. Here we are, home signal 40, 2.8, distant signal 48, 2. Those are the ones that you don't have to call attention. So you just dash to the bell and then bang, 6 bells, you know, because it's an emergency. So, you know, wasting time seeing if the signal is there or not, you just bung in the 6 bells and wait for the reply.
So how long have you been on the... oh wait, I'm just gonna...
Good, right, so can you put 20 back, please? Right, and now we need to reverse number 14 points. Just a little bit. That's it, just a little. Right, now, we can now pull number 3 points, which is the semaphore, so again you're going to need your hand left at the top, right at the top, don't let it drop, that's it, and then an effort to put it back.
As well to try and pull back rapidly.
That's it, and then number 4. Which is the section 6. Okay, and then the duster can go back on number 3, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's arrived. That, and multiple unit. Let's go at 12. So we've got 9 minutes. So, would you be kind enough to take the token over and give it to the driver of the DMU? So if you go over the footbridge.
Yep.
So are all the doors shut?
Yep.
And we've got the tail light. That's what we're looking for. So all the handles are horizontal.
That's the tail light.
And they've done the tail lights. Okay, number 3 can go back in the frame.
Again, it says some photo.
Again, so yeah, that's right. Yep. That's it. Right, I think we can pull 2 now as well, so let the 37 in.
Or number 2.
Okay, put 4 back. Sorry, put 2 back. And put 4 back. And pull 3.
Hopefully. Check to see the 37.
Sorry?
Guys, excited to see the 37. Oh, we might have a cab line in the 37.
Right, 3 can go back now. And then the dust rover 14 lever. Right, 14 can now go back in the frame.
Again, I'll stop out before the thing it won't I?
Sorry.
I'll stop out.
Yeah, up to the stop, hold it there. That's it. And minuscule, that's it. Right, so we've now set the road for it to set back. And here, obviously we can't let it go at mainline speed. We've got to use the calling on signal, which is permissive working, which I haven't talked about yet. But anyway, so now we can pull number 17. That's it. Hi, Paul. Now, before you say anything, our friend here. Okay. Do you want to go, if you go over the footbridge and go on to platform 2 and then walk down to about there, you could collect the token for me if you would.
Yeah, sure.
So it will be the, you know, the excellent, right?
That's the steam engine, it should have been ready to go.
Right, could you put 4 back? Then normalise 9 points. So now you can pull 2, lever 2. And also lever 3, which is a semaphore, so you need the special
Right.
grip.
Got it up.
Yep,
Right there.
yep,
About 3.
that's it.
Getting to the hang of it now.
Yeah, well that's it. I mean, it's all a knack, obviously, just moving the levers around.
Yeah.
So doesn't take long really to work out the knack of the particular frame, but each frame has its own peculiarities. It's like the lever locks on 20, they buzz all the time, but something you get used to. Okay, so number 2 lever can go back in the frame.
Just put that there.
Okay, so number 3 can now go back again. You've got it's a semaphore, so then over 14. That's it. Well done. The diesels take a bit longer to reverse because they have to swap cabs.
Yeah.
Whereas I think it's, with a steam engine, it's a lot quicker because they stay in the cab and they just put a reversing lever back, or I think some of them got wheels, but it's quicker with them.
Well, that's unfortunately that no steam engine because the risk of fire.
Yeah, we've had to cancel the steam, unfortunately, because the fire risk is not worth running, really. Okay, so now 14 needs to go back in the frame. That's it. And now we need to pull 17, which is the calling on signal. As the platform is occupied, you can only use it calling on.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see them getting out of the cab now.
Yeah.
Have you been inside a 37?
No, actually,
It's fascinating, but it's a very narrow cabin, and you've got loads of electrical equipment in there, and obviously if the engine is running, you've got this hot engine, and the passageway by the side of the engine is literally about, I would say, just over a foot wide. So that's why they get down and change cabs that way, because going through the engine compartment, you know, you burn yourself on the engine, and either that or go deaf, you know, so it's not worth it.
Yeah. Feel like the Deltic, because they are very
Right.
I remember, I think you did have a Deltic here a couple,
Yeah,
years
we
back.
did. Yeah, it's got two engines, but they only used one of them because the second engine were, you know, far too powerful and just a waste of diesel, really. But
Yes.
no, the thing about this road, I mean, you've probably seen the gradient chart there. We've got some good gradients here, so you know, probably when you had your ride on the 37, you probably sort of noticed it thrashing its way up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. The 31 is good for thrashing as well. It really sounds the business.
So I did the diesel driving experience course, I'm not known to 37 or the 31. Loco.
Okay, so 17 can now go back in the frame. And then could you put the duster over 14's handle to just leave it there? That's it, just leave
Yeah,
it.
that'll do nicely.
Right, can you pull 21 and 20, please?
21 and 20.
Okay, and now the next thing is to take out the token for the Epping. So twist it all the way to the right to set the relay. Okay?
Yeah.
Now let go of it. So what you're going to do now is twist it to the left while you're...
Press that.
Exactly. Well done. And then that goes in the holder there. So plug it on there. Okay, so now we will, we need to set the road. No, it's all coming in nicely. So now we need to pull number 12 signal.
Again, it's
That's the semaphore, yeah. And number 18, which is that's a section signal, but it is electric. Magic, and then shove the duster back on 1. Sorry, 21. Yeah. Right.
Yes, it did. So 2 then 1.
2 then 1. That's it, then 1. Okay, right, now we're going to do 1, so call attention 1, and 3, followed by 1. Well done. Let me just put this in the book. We set the road already. Followed by number 4 of the sections. Great stuff. So leave that over 13 on the hand 13 handle. That's it, drag it down, and then Could you hand the token over to the driver for 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Great stuff, thank you. Right. Right, so doors all shut and the tail.
Yep.
Okay, can you put 13 back in the frame? And then put the plastic goes on at 4. Another 8 minutes for the new leaves. Okay, I think you can give me 2 bells now, train entry section. So here we go, that's on the EKT. Right, so just 2. Okay, so 4 can now go back. Sorry, what were you saying?
I said it was
Oh, yes, please, yeah. And then that will go to 12. So it goes, so the DMU goes to 15.10. All right.
So that's on. Right.
Good. Okay, so 12 can now go back to semaphore. So one snatch. So,
Okay, just put that back there.
yes.
And
That's
then
it.
just like wait for a bit.
The platform 1 and staying there.
When can we put number
Right,
18
so we
then?
can put 18 back in the frame now.
Put over on number 1 ready.
Yeah. Okay, right, so let's pull number 1.
1 and 2.
Well, 1 first, because they have to be pulled in sequence. And then 2. If you pull 2 first, you won't be able to pull 1 because the locking will stop you. Good. Right, so that's 2 pulled off. Right, okay, so it's now 15, 14.
And then twist it back.
Twist it to the right, all the way against the spring. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if you can put 1 followed by 2 back in the frame, please. Okay, now we need to set the road for the train coming back from Ongar. It's not started yet, so we need to reverse number 9 points first. That's it. And then pull, set the rest of it, so pull 21, followed by 20, lastly 19, which is a semaphore.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Yep.
Long gun bell.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
the
the
platform bell. That's it. Just one of them. Right, so I'll pick up the token then.
yeah.
It's on the fly. And, so they've got to get the coaches up at the far end of the platform. And, we're going to get this one off. We'll do it one. You've always got to do it one. Once you finish one movement, then you get on to the next, so you don't get so confused. You've got to keep a clear head, so each movement is finished before you start the next one. So one can go back in the frame if you will. And 20. Sorry, 21. And then 20. Okay, can you put that on 14, please? We've got a tail lamp. Little troop back has arrived. So if you want to do the bells, so first of all you want to call attention, 1. Two, 1. Right, call attention, that's 1. And then 3, 1, 2. Next one. Here we go. Just put that in. Right, so that's okay, so 3, I think we can go back now. Yep. Right, got a bit of shunting to do. When the 37, so I was moving now. So 37 is going to go behind 2. And then it's going to go through platform 2. We're going to shove it in the up sidings once the DMU has disappeared. And put 19 back now, if you will, please. 19. Then could you put 9 back to normal, please? That's it. And then you can pull 2. And then you can put 4 back to normal. And then you can pull 3. That's it, and then put that onto, no, 2. That's it. Okay. Yeah, still changing ends, so it will take a bit of time. Okay, I think 2 can go back in the frame, please. So it's a bit of a stretch with 3 pull, but there we are. managed not to stab yourself. So.
Well, that's a good thing. Well, it's been a really interesting day.
No, I'm glad.
So much fun.
Yeah, good. Yeah, something new.
So does that mean I'm a qualified signaller?
Sorry?
Does that mean I'm a qualified signaller?
Not quite, no. There's a few exams to pass. Right, so we can put 3, yeah, number 3, the down main starter. Put that, if you will, over 16 points, because the next thing is to send it up sidings.
Be 16 and then it will be 17.
That's right, yes, it's we'll reverse the points into the upsidings, and then it's got to be a calling on signal because the upsidings have got stock in them already. Okay, so 14 points. If I can go back into the frame. Now reverse 16 points. Okay, and now we can pull 17 calling on. Now this, it depends how quick the crew are to change ends. There's, we've got a forward, I think it's called a forward lock on the signal, which effectively stops you changing your mind. So one of the things it does is it puts a timer on LN track circuit. So if they're there for more than, I think it's 2 minutes, you'll find that the timer starts, and then you've got 2 minutes until it times out. But I think they're getting down now. They might beat it, we'll see. Yeah, I think you can see the trees in the windscreen. I think they're moving now, so will take the signal. That's it. They've taken it before the forward. I mean, it's labelled back lock. It's forward lock. So what we do is we keep an eye on the KN track circuit, because when that goes out it means that they've disappeared into the upsidings effectively. You've got to watch it during winter because you get leaf mould and all that sort of thing, and there are some locos that don't actually trigger the track circuit. It's the lighter ones really, sometimes the O3. There we go. So now what we do is we put 17 back into the frame, and then put 16 points back to normal. That's it. Right, now I might as well set the road for when the train comes back. That's DMU. Hold on. Okay, so what's that, 16 and 6. So, I think what we'll do is we'll pull a reverse 14 points.
Reverse 14?
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're now creating a route into platform 2. Just a little bit back, as you go. A bit further back. That's it, then back. It's a difficult one, this for you. You've got sort of years of experience with it.